the right honourable gentleman is absolutely right. That is the fundamental basis upon what should happen next. I think there is consensus across this House about what is wrong with this treaty. I have spoken to previous Home Secretaries under the previous government, one of whom expressed to me regret at the way in which the original treaty was negotiated, and therefore that must be the next step. It must be to look again at the treaty and see what changes can be made. We've had some extraordinary stories today, case histories, I should say, Mr. Lee, not stories, because they are case histories, from members of this House, from South Dorset, from Richmond Park. We've heard about the excellent work that is being done by the Right Honourable Member for Tooting. The committee listened very carefully to the evidence given by the father of Babar Ahmad when he appeared before the Select Committee. He spoke with great dignity. I would have expected if your son had been in custody for as long as Babar Ahmad had been in custody, there would be anger, there would be outrage, but the way he gave evidence to the committee is absolutely commendable. And of course, the Honourable Member for Enfield Southgate, who is not in his place at this moment, but has done such an outstanding job in protecting his constituent and advancing the cause of Gary McKinnon. I actually don't think that we would have been discussing these kinds of issues had it not been for the case studies that we've had from Tooting and from Southgate. My plea to the Minister when he winds up is the Select Committee has unanimously written to the Minister and to the previous Immigration Minister and the previous Home Secretary under the previous government, urging her and indeed the current Home Secretary, who is also a woman, to write to the United States and express a view and conclude on this matter. We are told that politics isn't included in these matters because they are of a legal nature, but we know that the Prime Minister spoke with President Obama about these matters when President Obama came to the United Kingdom. So there is politics in this, and I cannot see why it has taken 18 months for the Home Secretary to make a decision about this case, and I've written to her regularly on behalf of the committee about this matter, and each time she has replied to tell me that the medical evidence can't be agreed. But the medical evidence, as we've heard from the member for Southgate, has not changed over the last 18 months. So I hope that we can have a conclusion on this. Once we conclude on Gary McKinnon, and then when we hear the views of the Deputy Prime Minister, we will then know the coalition's government's position on this Act and the treaty. That is why the McKinnon case is so important. So I hope very much we will have closure on that. I hope that for the other Right Honourable and Honourable Members who have other cases that they are able to get satisfaction. And all I can promise is I don't know whether our report will be as brilliant as the report of the Joint Committee on Human Rights, but I hope that when we come to report on this in February, after we've taken evidence from Sir Scott Baker, we will be able to assist this House in deciding what the next steps are going to be.